As the first light of dawn spread its gentle fingers across the ancient city of Carthage, the air was filled with the scent of the sea and the hum of awakening life. Merchants began to stir, rousing from slumber behind their counters, brimming with wares from distant lands. Their stalls upped their wooden shutters to let the bright African sun illuminate rich fabrics, glistening with dye and woven with intricate patterns. Olive oil amphorae stood side by side, with jars of rare spices that had traveled the Silk Road, their exotic scents mingling with the briny breeze. Further along, fishermen pulled in their boats after a night at sea, their nets heavy with the glittering promise of today's catch, which would soon be hawked in bustling markets. In the quieter heart of the city, beneath the watchful gaze of sculpted deities, artisans began their craft. In one sun-drenched courtyard, a potter rolled a lump of clay, his fingertips deftly turning it into vessels that bore the signature elegance of Carthaginian design. Nearby, a weaver gently guided a shuttle through long strands of wool, setting the rhythm of a loom that sang a soft, steady song. The tap of a sculptor's chisel echoed through stone-paved streets. Each strike was a note in a symphony of creation. It was a day like any other, yet made extraordinary by the convergence of lives and the slow orchestration of an ancient world. As the morning aged into a balmy afternoon, the streets of Carthage pulsed with a lively chorus of voices and laughter. Children darted between narrow alleyways, their giggles mingling with the cries of hawkers selling fresh figs and honey-coated nuts. Women, with elegant braids cascading down their backs, gathered at the public fountains, their rhythmic chatter as soothing and constant as the water's gentle trickle. They filled their amphorae, embroidered with tales of their city's illustrious past, with fresh water under the warm gaze of the sun, before returning to their homes where family awaited the evening meal. In the shaded forums, philosophers and scholars, draped in flowing robes, engaged in animated debates under the colonnade's cool embrace. They pondered the mysteries of the stars, the nature of justice, and exchanged knowledge with travelers from realms beyond the horizon. The air buzzed with the sound of clinking bronze as coins exchanged hands in lively negotiations, the city's lifeblood circulating through trade and intellectual discourse. Above, seagulls wheeled in the azure sky, their cries a reminder of the vast, open sea beyond, ever connected to the vast tapestry of life thriving in the heart of ancient Carthage. As twilight deepened, the scent of night-blooming jasmine filled the air, mingling sweetly with the gentle murmur of conversation. In quiet courtyards shrouded by climbing vines, families lingered after supper, content to share the tranquil beauty of the evening. Elders recounted stories of old voyages and the city's legendary founders, their tales transporting listeners to bygone eras and distant lands. Children, their eyes wide with wonder, nestled close to hear of daring adventures and the wisdom of ancestors, their imaginations kindled by the soft glow of lantern light. Meanwhile, at the bustling harbor, the final ships of the day cast lines and prepared to anchor for the night. Sailors exchanged tales of recent journeys and the marvels witnessed across the Mediterranean, their laughter hearty and infectious. The water, now a mirror reflecting both the heavens above and the city's sparkling lights, served as a gentle backdrop to the evening's activities. As the city lulled itself to sleep, the steadfast lighthouse stood as an enduring sentinel, its steady beam guiding both the lost and the weary home. In the heart of ancient Carthage, life continued its eternal cycle, each day a new thread, woven into the rich and vibrant tapestry of history. As the night grew longer, a tranquil silence settled over the city, broken only by the occasional rustle of palm fronds and the distant lapping of waves against the docks. In the merchants' quarter, guards made their rounds with torches held high, the warm orbs of fire dancing in their iron cradles, illuminating intricate mosaics on the walls. These guardians of the night exchanged friendly greetings with the late-working artisans who toiled under moonlit skies, their hands crafting fine jewelry or carving wood into shapes that seemed alive. The air was filled with a quiet industriousness that spoke of a community bound by shared purpose and pride. Meanwhile, in a small library hidden within the marble halls of a scholar's abode, a lone scribe dipped his quill into ink, the scratching of the pen a gentle music of its own. Under the steady glow of an oil lamp, scrolls unfurled across the table, each one a testament to the thirst for knowledge that defined this great city. As he meticulously copied texts and added to the annals of history, the scribe paused occasionally to gaze at the tranquil night beyond his window, his thoughts drifting to the infinite mysteries of the world. With each stroke, he laid down the narratives that would carry Carthage's legacy into ages yet to come, a keeper of the city's eternal flame of enlightenment. As the first blush of dawn began to paint the sky in hues of pink and gold, the city awoke gently from its slumber, embraced by the soft lullaby of the early morning breeze. Temple bells chimed distantly, resonating through the dewy air, summoning the faithful for morning prayers. The gentle rustle of palm leaves announced the new day's arrival as life began to stir within Carthage's ancient veins. In the vibrant markets, merchants once again rolled up shutters and arranged goods in anticipation of the bustling day to come, excitement and anticipation brewing like the invigorating aroma of the first batch of fresh-baked bread. At the harbor, the sails of docked ships caught the light, fluttering as if waving a welcome to another cycle of fortune and discovery. Fishermen prepared their vessels as the horizon blushed with the promise of a bountiful catch, while merchants readied their goods for bartering and trade. Slowly, the streets came alive, as artisans, scholars, farmers, and traders emerged from their homes, greeting the day with smiles and nods, ready to stitch another day into the living tapestry of their beloved city. In this ancient land, each dawn heralded a fresh beginning, sowing new stories into the legacy of Carthage, a timeless melody playing ever onward. In the quieter parts of Carthage, away from the market's hustle and the forum's fervent debates, lies the sacred grove, a serene sanctuary where the city's pulse slows to a peaceful rhythm. Here, amidst towering olive trees and fragrant blossoms, the Druids tend to their ancient rituals. With reverence, they gather herbs and sacred leaves, guided by secrets passed through generations, their movements deliberate and full of grace. The grove is a place where time seems to forget its haste, the air filled with birdsong and the gentle hum of the natural world, offering solace to those who seek wisdom or wish to unburden weary hearts. At the edge of the grove, beyond its calming shade, young apprentices gather in a circle under the watchful eyes of their mentors. Today's lesson is on the stars, their hands tracing patterns across the endless blue sky above, pointing out the constellations that have guided travelers and navigators for centuries. Here, learning unfolds without the constraints of walls, with the sky serving as an infinite canvas for the stories of gods and heroes once told by their ancestors. As they listen, their young minds expand into the universe, fueled by the stories that tether humanity to the celestial tapestry. Carthage, in its vastness, embraces both the past and the possibility of the future, nurturing each new day as an integral thread in the intricate weave of its enduring narrative. As the performance reached its crescendo, the amphitheater filled with applause and cheers that echoed into the night, mingling with the songs of crickets and the gentle rustle of leaves in the cooling breeze. The tale performed on stage was a familiar one, yet it never failed to enrapture, reminding the audience of the strength and unity and the eternal dance between fate and free will. Families leaned into one another, sharing smiles and reverent nods, feelings of shared experience and connection, weaving a tapestry of belonging even stronger. Amidst the dazzling spectacle, each person found a moment of reflection, a shared whisper of the ancient song that was the lifeblood of Carthage. As the gathering dispersed into the night, the city's streets aglow with lanterns and starlight, a serene hush descended upon Carthage once more. Couples strolled hand in hand, their footsteps a quiet rhythm on the cobblestones. The harbor, now wrapped in serene moonlight, cradled the gently rocking ships, their shadows swaying softly in the water. Fishermen and sailors exchanged their final farewell for the evening, their voices carrying lightly across the bay, promising reunions with a gentle promise of the following day. In every corner of Carthage, the night wrapped itself around the city like a comforting quilt, each thread spun tightly in the loom of history, binding the past to the unfolding present, illuminating the path ahead. With the break of a new day, the city emerged from its slumber, rejuvenated and filled with the vibrant energy of fresh beginnings. Morning mists lifted gently from the earth, revealing the verdant landscape and the bustling neighborhoods that made up the thriving heart of Carthage. Along the cobblestone streets, the scent of coriander and rosemary mingled with the aroma of warming bread, heralding the culinary delights that awaited merchants and travelers alike. Artisans were already at work, crafting delicate mosaics, weaving tapestries, and tuning the strings of lyres, each note echoing the pulse of the city as it came alive in the early light. Down by the piers, a sense of anticipation filled the salty air as ships prepared to set sail across the sparkling Mediterranean. Traders readied goods bound for distant shores, their movements efficient and familiar in the morning routine known to countless generations. Nearby, a small group of adventurers huddled over maps plotting courses to lands awaiting discovery, their eyes alight with the thrill of new quests. Above, seagulls soared in circles, riding thermals as they watched over the mingling of land and sea. Caught in this symphony of ambition and tradition, Carthage stood resilient, its heart beating as steadily as it had for centuries, with each day a promise of infinite possibilities sculpted by human hands. As the afternoon sun began its descent, a gentle breeze swept in from the sea, providing welcome relief from the lingering heat. The light danced through the streets, casting playful patterns across the cityscape and illuminating the vibrant hues of the buildings. In the gardens and open-air courtyards, citizens gathered to savor moments of rest and reflection, sharing tales of their day's endeavors and enjoying small cups of sweet, spiced tea. These quiet intervals became a tapestry of human connection, reinforcing the ties that bound them in common purpose and shared history. The old city walls stood firm, silent witnesses to the generations they had sheltered and the dreams they had nurtured. In the sprawling fields surrounding Carthage, hard-working farmers completed their tasks, tending to rows of olive trees and grapevines that thrived under the Mediterranean sun. Their steadfast diligence ensured that the bounty of the land would continue to sustain the populace, underpinning the prosperity of the city. As twilight painted the sky in a deepening array of colors, bonfires were lit, and the heady scent of roasting meat and spices wafted through the air. Chaos melted into calm as stars began to twinkle, ushering in an evening of communal feasts and festive gatherings. Conversations, laughter, and songs rose to the heavens, celebrating another day woven into the history of Carthage, a city of timeless elegance and enduring resilience, where every story found its place within the grand tapestry of life. As the nocturnal festivities unfolded across Carthage, the cool night air carried with it whispers of the sea, wrapping the city in a peaceful embrace. High above the bustling streets, on terraces overlooking the sparkling bay, a quiet gathering of seafarers took place. These seasoned mariners, their faces etched by winds and sun, shared tales of distant voyages and exotic ports. Such stories spun images of silken wares, fragrant spices, and towering landscapes unseen by most, stirring the imaginations of those who dreamed of adventures yet to be undertaken. The rhythmic waves gently lapping at the waterfront provided a soothing counterpoint to their animated discussions, a backdrop for dreams kindled and destinies forged on the high seas. In a corner of the city, within the revered sanctuaries of its temples, midnight vigils were kept by torchlight. Priests and priestesses, cloaked in garments of white and gold, conducted quiet ceremonies, their hymns floating upwards like offerings of devotion to the heavens. Petitioners came seeking guidance or expressing gratitude, their whispered prayers mingling with the fragrant clouds of incense that wound upward into the night sky. Through these rituals, the city's soul was both reflected and renewed, a quiet yet indelible reminder of the divine within the everyday. In these sacred spaces, the heartbeat of Carthage found its rhythm, a pulse that reverberated through the lives of its citizens, binding them to a shared identity, as the city journeyed towards yet another day. With the promise of a new day, the sky began to lighten, tinting the landscape of Carthage with the soft, gentle hues of dawn. The ebb and flow of the tide mirrored the gradual awakening of the city, as first light danced across the rooftops and touched the summits of the grand temples. Slowly the merchants stirred, opening stalls and setting out their wares with studied precision, their movements a practiced ritual honed through generations. Against the backdrop of bustling preparations, the aroma of baking bread mingled with the crisp morning air, an olfactory prelude to the day's unfolding activities. Life trickled back into the city's arteries, as windows nudged open and residents peered out to greet the sun's arrival with sleepy smiles and eager anticipation. Farmers led their animals out to the pastures, while the rhythmic rowing of fishermen heading toward the horizon echoed across the harbor, each stroke a testament to their enduring bond with the sea. Children, quickened by the thrill of a new day, darted into the streets, with laughter bright enough to rival the sun's burgeoning glow. Every corner of Carthage seemed to breathe in unison, harmonizing the past with the present, the mundane with the magical, ready once more to embrace the ever-turning wheel of time and write the tales of yet another day. Amidst the thriving hustle, the sacred temples stood as serene sanctuaries, offering a gentle counterbalance to the city's vibrant pulse. Devotees entered in quiet reverence, the air heavy with the scent of burning incense that spiraled toward the expansive sky. Within these ancient walls, priests and priestesses performed rituals with practiced grace, their chants rising like a tranquil hymn above the din of everyday life. The temple gardens, lush and fragrant, beckoned those seeking reflection and solace, their tranquility an echo of Carthage's deep spiritual roots. It was here that hearts found renewal, and intentions for the day were set with quiet mindfulness, every moment tying the present to its rich ancestral heritage. As the sun climbed higher, the beating heart of Carthage quickened with midday anticipation. In shaded courtyards, families and friends gathered over shared meals, their laughter punctuating the air like notes of music. Conversations flowed as easily as the wine poured into terracotta cups, binding generations together around tables where tales old and new interwove effortlessly. Nearby, scholars reconvened in hushed libraries, poring over scrolls and sharing ideas that traversed the eons. With each hour, Carthage wove its tapestry of diversity and unity tighter, a city of boundless energy and timeless purpose, ever poised on the edge of tomorrow while deeply rooted in the annals of time. As the moon cast its silvery light over Carthage, the city unfolded into an ethereal pageant. Lanterns bobbed gently in the night air, their glow outlining the graceful arches and columns of ancient architecture, each structure narrating tales etched in stone. In the soft, ambient glow, the city seemed to drift between worlds, grounded in the past, yet open to the mysteries of the cosmos. The scent of night-blooming jasmine wafted through the streets, mingling with the distant melody of a flute, its haunting notes echoing through the alleys, enticing the nocturnally curious to follow its tune to intimate gatherings where stories and ideas flowed as freely as wine. Beyond the city walls, the fields and vineyards lay still under the star-dappled sky, a serene contrast to the lively night within. Shepherds watched over their flocks, their outlines silhouetted against the horizon in quiet vigilance. This land, with its gifts of bounty and sustenance, hummed with the quiet duets of night creatures and wind through olive groves. Here, life moved at a serene pace, each heartbeat synchronized with the cycles of the moon and seasons. In this harmony, Carthage's spirit thrived, where every whisper of the night wind carried with it a promise, a continuation of stories yet to be unfurled with each passing dawn. As dawn approached, the flicker of stars gradually dimmed, surrendering to the subtle palette of pre-dawn hues that heralded a new day. Carthage, ever resilient, stirred awake, its people renewed by sleep yet perpetually poised for the challenges and joys of the unfolding day. The first tendrils of light kissed the rooftops and ancient columns, setting the city aglow in a warm embrace. Birds greeted the morning with vibrant song, their melodies weaving with the first human voices as families rose from their night's respite, eager to begin the day's endeavors. Mornings were a symphony of life returning to motion, each act and note in a well-rehearsed composition. The ritual of daily life, a harmonious blend of routine and spontaneity, commenced as bakeries opened their doors to share freshly baked bread, its comforting aroma drifting through the air. Students gathered around their teachers, eager for lessons that promised new knowledge to light their paths. As Carthage shook off the remnants of night, the city embraced the nascent day, each moment a blessing and a challenge, weaving aspirations as ancient and as new as the city itself into its ever-evolving legend. Carthage, indomitable and timeless, continued to write its stories into the eternal tapestry of human history. With the sun reaching its zenith, casting a bright and warm embrace over the city, the tempo of daily life reached its harmonious crescendo. Artisans busied themselves in workshops, the rhythmic clink of tools and hum of looms creating a symphony of productivity. Stonecutters labored with patient precision, chiseling monuments that bore witness to Carthage's grandeur, while weavers crafted tapestries that captured the vibrant essence of daily life within their intricate threads. Each craft spoke of a heritage that both honored the past and embraced the innovation of the present, as the city continued to build its legacy on a foundation of skill and dedication. As the afternoon sun began to cast long shadows, the city softened into a quieter cadence. Families gathered in cool, shaded courtyards for midday meals, exchanging stories between bites of freshly harvested produce and aromatic dishes spiced with the flavors of lands both near and far. In these serene moments, conversations deepened, strengthening the familial and communal bonds that wove the social fabric of Carthage. The gentle murmur of voices, the clink of utensils, and the occasional burst of laughter created a lullaby that accompanied the city into the later hours, a reminder of the shared humanity that defined Carthage's remarkable endurance and spirit. As twilight descended, the city was enveloped in a comforting dusk, where the lines between light and shadow began to blur. Lanterns flickered to life along cobbled pathways, casting a warm, inviting glow that danced cheerfully among the foliage and stone. In the harbor, the gentle clinking of moored ships was a soothing lullaby, as sailors secured their vessels for the night, their silhouettes etched against the shimmering water. The smells of seawater and citrus mingled with the cool evening air, a sensory reminder of the connection between land and sea that defined Carthage's livelihood and adventures. In intimate corners of the city, around festival fires and communal tables, stories were exchanged, some as old as the stones of Carthage, others newly formed under the young stars. Elders wove tales of heroism and history, their voices resonating with the authority of ages, while the youth listened wide-eyed, absorbing legends that would seed their dreams. As the moon crested, its silver light painting a lacework of shadows across rooftops and terraces, Carthage settled into its nocturnal repose. The city's pulse slowed to the heartbeat of the night, each gentle sound and whisper a testament to its enduring spirit, and the promise of yet new dawns and stories yet untold. As the early hours of morning crept ever closer, a serene stillness cloaked the city, fostering introspection and quiet contemplation. In the sacred groves, where moonlight filtered delicately through branches, seekers of peace found solace in the harmony of nature. The gentle rustle of leaves seemed to whisper age-old secrets born from the soil itself, a communion between earth and sky that grounded the soul. Here, individuals reflected upon their aspirations, casting their hopes and fears into the night, like seeds destined to blossom under the sun's eventual rise. Meanwhile, atop the high hills surrounding Carthage, watchful eyes scanned the horizon, ensuring the city's safety and tranquility. The vast panorama before them melded seamlessly into the starlit sky, a breathtaking reminder of Carthage's place within the grander tapestry of existence. As vigil kept the city safe, the first soft hues of dawn began to paint the edges of the world, heralding the return of day. Incarcerated within this cyclic dance of time, Carthage was both fortress and haven, a living narrative continuously unfolding, embracing the past while welcoming the tender promise of new tomorrows and the uncharted stories they would tell. As the morning sun climbed higher, casting its radiant light on the city, Carthage buzzed with a harmonious blend of purpose and possibility. In the heart of the bustling marketplace, laughter and spirited discourse intertwined with the rhythmic clinking of coins and the vibrant display of colorful textiles. Children played among stalls, their laughter a bright counterpoint to the gentle haggling of merchants and buyers. Each interaction added a layer of richness to the day, infusing it with a sense of belonging and community that transcended the simplicity of trade. In the quieter alleys, scholars and philosophers gathered under the shade of ancient olive trees, engaging in animated discussions that traversed realms of science, philosophy, and art. Their inquiries contributed to Carthage's vast repository of knowledge, sparking insights that would guide the city through ever-changing times. Meanwhile, in nearby courtyards, artists captured the scene on their canvases and in their clay, translating the heartbeat of the city into forms of timeless beauty. As shadows lengthened and the sun began its descent, Carthage stood as a testament to the resilience and creativity of its people, a living mosaic, constantly evolving yet forever rooted in the enduring spirit of its rich and storied past. As evening descended upon Carthage, the city transformed into a mosaic of shimmering lights and soft sounds. The bustling marketplace, now quieter, echoed with the sounds of merchants closing their stalls, their day's work done under the fading golden glow of the setting sun. Families gathered in cozy homes, sharing meals cooked with the day's fresh produce, the aroma of herbs and spices interwoven with laughter and conversation. In these shared moments, stories of triumphs and trials flowed, weaving tight the familial bonds that formed the backbone of Carthaginian society. In the open-air theaters, a bubbling anticipation resonated as the community gathered for evening performances. Actors, draped in vivid costumes, prepared to breathe life into ancient myths and tales as old as the city itself. The amphitheater, a space teeming with shared history, became a conduit for unity, where citizens from all walks could come together in shared narrative experience. As the moon rose high, bathing the stage and audience alike in silver light, the first lines of the play set a tranquil cadence for the night. Carthage, at once a thriving harbor and a cradle of culture, thrummed with the collective heartbeat of its people, preserving its legacy in the age-old art of storytelling. As the essence of night deepened, Carthage lay cradled in a blanket of tranquility, broken only by the occasional footfalls of a late wanderer or the whisper of a gentle breeze through the palms. The vastness of the starlit sky seemed to hold the city in an embrace, connecting each soul to the intricate dance of celestial bodies above. In homes, candle flames flickered softly as families wound down their evening with songs, their melodies a timeless lullaby passed through generations. The harmony of quiet voices and the soft creaking of wooden beams settled into a comforting cadence, each note and rhythm a testament to the resilience and unity of this ancient metropolis. As dawn approached, heralded by the faintest hues of morning kissing the horizon, Carthage prepared to awaken once more, poised between the slumber of night and the promise of day. The timeless rhythm of life renewed, as it always did, with a gentle inhale of potential and a confident exhale of tradition. Carthage, a city where time ebbed and flowed like the tides it once commanded, remained steadfast, a vessel of human hope and continuity. The stories lived and breathed within its walls, inscribed on papyrus and whispered in stolen moments, carried forward like embers, lit anew each day by the unwavering spirit of its people, a city forever echoing into the tapestry of eternity.